when I found out he was gone because my friend Maynard, he's the lead singer of Tool, and Tony had really gotten into jiu-jitsu. And that's how, one of the ways, I was friends with him before that, but that's one of the ways that Tony and I got closer, is that, he knew I was a black belt, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu for decades. And so he would ask me questions, and when we were doing the show together, it was really funny. When I did one episode of No Reservation, we went pheasant hunting in Montana, and part of the day, he's asking me how to finish Darce chokes. So he and I are on the ground, on the dirt, and I'm saying, now when you're in this position, I'm showing him how to strangle people in the dirt. So we're like wearing hunting clothes and boots and everything like that, and I'm like, no, this way, and then trap the head here and turn it like this. So I'm like, now do it to me, and like we're working with each other like on the ground. And he's like fascinated by this martial art, and I thought it was wonderful because like he's this sensitive, creative, poetic guy, but he found the beauty in jiu-jitsu, which is like to the outside person who's the uninformed, it looks like this brutal caveman activity, but it's not. It's a very complicated, intelligent, creative martial art. And he was obsessed with it. And he didn't start doing it until he was 58 years old, which is kind of crazy. But he really got obsessed with it, entered into tournaments, age-appropriate tournaments, and did really well, and was training every day, sometimes twice a day. Like, was taking private lessons and, like, really got obsessed with it.
I can tell you that because when we were shooting in Asturias and a few other places, Cayman Islands, one of the things he always did is finding out where was the local jiu-jitsu hanging place. And it's very funny. In Oviedo was a place and he will go there.
Yeah.
And for 1-2 hours he will be just fighting against local guys. So it was fascinating to see how even on weeks that he was supposed to be concentrated on shooting, he always found time to do what he loved.
So Maynard got his black belt recently, and Maynard was also like very into jiu-jitsu, and he was joking around like maybe one day he and Tony would have a celebrity jiu-jitsu match. So I'm in Chicago. I'm doing shows in Chicago, and I get a text message from Maynard and says, so much for that celebrity jiu-jitsu match. And I'm like, what does that mean? And so I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
That was the moment.
And then I Google. And I have this feeling, and then the news, and then it all hits me. I'm like, oh, fuck. There's moments when people take their own life where the worst feeling is, I feel like if I was there, I could have stopped him from doing that.
That's the feeling, eh?
The feeling like he just was alone. Sometimes you just, you're not alone and you're going to be okay. Like, whatever you think is going to be the worst thing that's happening here, it's not. You're loved. You're loved. You're an amazing person. There's so much more to see. You don't want to leave these people behind. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to hurt these people in your life. You don't want to hurt your family. You don't want to hurt your daughter. You don't want to hurt your wife. Don't do it. I know it feels impossible, but it's because you're alone. And it's, sometimes... I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have been able to do anything. Maybe I'm wrong. But there's that haunting feeling that I could have talked to him. I could have, man, that feeling fucking sucks. That feeling of, if I had just have had if I was there with him, I think we could have had some laughs. We could have joked around about some stuff, and we would have been okay. That's, I bet you feel the same way, right?
And I think that's something I didn't close yet. Obviously, I'm not going to talk on behalf of Eric, but Eric was so strong. And Eric obviously was shooting with him in France when that happened, and actually is the one that found him in his room. And I understand that feeling because I'm still going through it. And it's okay to feel responsible because that means you care for those people. But the message here is that we all need to be checking always on each other.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for. Obviously for the celebration of your team winning the NBA or or having a beer or the birthday or a party or celebrating life or playing darts or
Yeah.
just having beers with no plan. What are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
I'm having a beer. I'm joining you. Great. That's great. The celebrations, that's what we're here for. But the true moments of friendship obviously are those moments that even you show up when you are not invited because you feel something maybe is off. And it's okay to knock on the door. It's okay to pick up the phone. It's okay to maybe get on a plane. It's okay to. And obviously, I guess like you now, Joe, that I'm learning about and gives me joy to see that here another person that really loved Tony. And Eric and myself and so many others around the beautiful life of Tony. That we wish we were there, right?
Yeah.
So I think if anything, I don't think it's a lesson. It's only, let's always be there for each other.
Yeah.
Let's always be there for each other. And let's all be, especially when we disagree about anything,
Yeah.
just let's be kinder to each other even on the disagreements.
Yeah. Another lesson that I've taken with me is that any conflict that I've ever had with a person, even if I was correct, even if I was right in being angry, even if I was right in the mean things that I said, I never felt good afterwards. But every good interaction that I've ever had, where maybe me and a person disagreed, but we came out of it smiling and hugging, and we found common ground, then I feel great. Always feel great. You know, there's going to be people that you run into in life that are stubborn and they don't want to avoid conflict. They want that conflict. They feed off of it. They're stupid. Whatever. Not even stupid. They're on a bad path. They have a bad programming. They have bad, whatever the patterns of behavior that are ingrained in their consciousness. They're unforgiving and they have this way of living their life, and it's not a good way. And, you can't fix everybody. So you just got to, when you encounter those people, you have to be able to filter people out of your life. You have to know, like, some people you can't interact with. But the people that you can, just try to not have conflict. I don't want any conflict. I'm not interested in it. I'm good at it. I know how to do conflict. Like, I literally do it professionally.
Sure, you can break the neck of anybody.
But I mean, even verbal conflict, I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in physical conflict, and I'm not interested in verbal conflict. It's just not. It's not what I like out of life.